Good day all. Just want to get on here right quick and make this video and address something I believe is a immediate concern for everyone residing throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I would even argue that it's more than just a concern, but a crisis. I don't think that's an exaggeration. That is not a misnomer. I think that accurately describes and reflects the situation at hand. Before I delve into saying what I want to say, I want to make this disclaimer and say that this is not political. This is not about blaming and anger, and even though those are real live emotions while speaking about the subject. This is about truth. This is about accountability. This is about transparency. This is about compassion. This is about humanity and the fact that everyone, every human being has the right to and access and should be afforded access to decent health care. So this is an honest observation, a truthful look at a system that is that is silently failing the people that it's meant to protect. Okay? And I want to be very clear. The hopes in creating this video is to not just simply criticize, but create awareness, shed light on the system. Some time ago, recently, we all witnessed a critical healthcare nurse who goes by the name Sister Pearl, with 44 years experience as a nurse, a veteran, right? She took to social media and she was lamenting about the conditions of the public healthcare system and conditions that the frontline workers have to work in. And this is what she said.
Your heart, please listen to the many concerns we have at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The roofs are leaking, Mr. Prime Minister. Lack of supplies, lack of human resources, not to mention the rodent problem that we have. When will the Accident and Emergency Department be open, Mr. Prime Minister, so that we can treat our patients with dignity and privacy out of the goodness of your heart? Please listen to the cries and help bring about change.
Mentioned in the video, she talked about the poor conditions that frontline workers are in, poor conditions that they work in, poor infrastructure, and it wasn't an epiphany. It's not like she was exposing something that wasn't already public knowledge. We already knew this, right? Subsequently, she was suspended for 2 weeks for speaking out. Suspended for 2 weeks. Yeah, so she got suspended for 2 weeks, and it ruffled feathers, conjured rile, and incited emotion in the public, caused a great deal of commotion, because the general consensus is this raises questions about accountability, about transparency, and about trust when frontline workers, when doctors and nurses speak out about the poor conditions that they have to work in, and they are essentially muzzled. That's a problem. These voices should be heard, not punished. Right? That happened, and everyone just went back about their business, after commotion, and because you know how Bahamians are, you know how we are. We passive. We can make noise, but we ain't really agitating for change, until it happens to us. And sure enough, a few days later, I think the weekend following the whole nurse suspension, her speaking out, my father experienced firsthand what Sister Pearl was speaking about. For context, My dad, 71, male, on Sunday, went to church, walked to church, accompanied by my mom, his wife, walked to church. He attends Our Lady Catholic Church, so he went to church and was there for the evening mass at 3 p.m. About half an hour into the service, the mass, he collapses. For context, again, my dad is diabetic and has some challenges with high blood pressure, but these were conditions he was managing, right? So he collapses in the church, and he would have had similar experiences like these before, where if the sugar's low, he'd pass out. So he collapses in church, and my mom contacts me and it's like, hey, your dad just followed in church, can you come? And I'm living in the east, so I'm like, hey mom, call an ambulance. She's like, she called an ambulance. It's been about 15-20 minutes calling and waiting for an ambulance, and then finally being told that there are no ambulances available. The Bahamas, in many regards, is a development, can be in many respects it's a developing country, right? Or a developed country, but there's no ambulances available. None. That's one thing, right? So ultimately they decide to transport him to the hospital via a private vehicle, right? Gets there after 15-20 minutes after collapsing in the church waiting. It takes them about 10 minutes from where they were, 5 to 10 minutes to get to the hospital. Upon arrival at accident and emergency, they were accosted and greeted by security guards with no decorum, no type of formal training, nothing, right? They was told that, hey, we ain't got no wheelchairs, no doctors on call. Yeah. This whole time, my father's unresponsive. He's unconscious. 25 minutes waiting in front of A&E to see someone, right? By the time he gets to a doctor, the doctor's like, hey, how long y'all been waiting out here? He ain't got no pulse. He's not breathing. No heart beat. They cart him off to the back. I arrive. I'm also greeted by security guards asking me, hey, what you doing here? You got to get registered. Momentarily, they come out, and our greatest fear was realized. My dad didn't make it. Those same conditions Sister Pearl spoke about. In addition to that, we met this air of nonchalance. Indifference, sad, but indifference has woven itself into the fabric of their demeanor, of the demeanor of frontline workers. We don't care. Your dad is just another number, basically. We doing this for a paycheck. Case in point.
People that come to work, they don't come to work because they love these patients. They don't come to work because we want to come with our good house. Because some of us living in a very nice home. We just come to work for money. For money. Say no damn promotion and no money. That's wrong. They wrong. We come to work because we expecting a pay. Not because we love these patients or we love it here. That's why we come to work. That's public service announcement. That's general orders, money.
Never understand. Make it make sense. How you work in healthcare and you hate people. it's sad because, it's the prevailing attitude. Most of them don't care. Not all of them, but most of them don't care. Okay? And I'm not justifying that. It's disgusting. But it's born out of a system that is underpaid, overwhelmed, under-resourced. And the tragedy is it is experienced by the patients and the front care line workers. Everybody caught in a system that's hurting it. The system is failing everyone. We need reform. And I refuse to believe that we can't do better. Our governments are investing in futile endeavors and ventures, while the public's health is you don't even have access to decent health care. Like, what I'm trying to say is, Bahamas, today for me, tomorrow for you. Last week, Sunday was my dad. Next week, it could be your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother, your uncle. No ambulance. Get to the A&E. No doctors on call. We need reform. We need transparency. We need accountability. We need first responders who actually respond. And you know what's sad? My father's story is just one of many, of thousands. Just had a friend came by, give his condolences and said that his father died under similar circumstances. And I feel like the Bahamian culture, we have become complacent, and we have accepted this. We cool with it. We hear about these things, we see these things, and we talk about it. We make noise, and that's about as far as it goes until it happened to us. And so my hope is that we can agitate for change. We saw a video of this lady just earlier, you know what I mean, who had just given birth in the hospital, speaking out about her conditions while she's still in the hospital, crying out.
I going through trying.
Mother of three, Kenise Darville, is dead. With tears in her eyes and a trembling voice, she filmed this Facebook Live video January 11th from her hospital bed at Princess Margaret Hospital, 9 days before she died. It was her last attempt to make grievances about neglect known, and she's not the first PMH patient to allege the same.
PMH doing a whole lot of foolishness, and I feel like this story just needs to get out.
Little did Kenise know this would be her dying request.